mortified. Hey, this is Sally Hendrick. Today is the Who's Riding Shotgun show. We're talking with Elspeth, and will not pronounce your last name. Would you do that for me?
Mashashek. It means little bear in Polish.
Oh, that's sweet. Mashashek. Elspeth Mashashek. Thank you. And then we have Laura Fenimore. Say hello.
Hi.
And we have Laura Wright. All right. And I'm going to play a little bit of music to start the show. I'm actually getting lyrics done on the longer version.
I'm riding shotgun.
Yeah!
Woo! Woo! Yes! Yes!
How fun!
Oh, my goodness. Okay. So I want to say hello to everybody in the audience. Thank you so much for coming today because we're talking about WordPress. Now, we're not getting techie about it. We're just talking about how we all use it in our businesses and why we like it. So I want to say hello over to the side. I know Jessica Riverson is there. And yay, she's my sales coach. And then we have Karen Fern. She is wonderful. She's in a lot of group time in. She helps with budgeting. Let's see.
Right.
What else do we have in here? I've already named you. I've named you. Who are you right here? Pop open. ALDR. Hello, ALDR. Elder. I'm not sure how to say hello. Say your name. Thank you. And Jonathan. Hey, Jonathan. He's a singer and social media hack. Hey, that could be kind of fun. Maybe you could help me fix my song. Linda Barnby, Linda and Friends show, real estate and note investor. Very cool. And we have Mark Whitaker, interactive media specialist. Megan Techmeyer is an entrepreneur's best friend, helping confused business owners understand technology. Love it. Of course, I love technology. And then we have Akraf Suiker. I'm not sure how to say your name. I'm sorry, but I don't know how to say it. But anyway, we're trying to say hello to everybody here. If you do want to ask us a question, please do type /Q and put that over to the side. And we'll try to answer questions as we go. And if we miss your thing, just holler at us again, okay? Because we're just trying to keep things going in the room. All right, now I'm going to say hello first to Elspeth because
Hi.
on my right on my screen. Hello.
Hello.
Tell us about you and your business and what you do, and type your website over there again.
So let's do it. So the reason that I'm all about this is the WordPress reason that Sally wanted me to kind of join today. So I'm going to shoot everybody that link, and it is going to be to my upcoming webinar because, you know, my business is emarketingcopywriter.com. And I've been an entrepreneur for 8 years, started with a startup corporation. And when my business partner and I split ways, it was the most amazing thing that ever happened to me because I got to say, what do I love about this business and what do I want to leave behind, right? So I didn't want a brick and mortar. I didn't want a big team because they all had to get paid first. I wanted to work in yoga pants, preferably with a purring cat on my lap. And so I chose to become a copywriter. So I took all that sales, all that marketing, all that like startup, like if I don't sell, I don't eat. And I channeled it into eMarketing Copywriter. So for 5 years, I have been copywriting for some really incredible names in the industry. Some I've been advised that I can't talk about. But let's just say that they are 7-figure coaches. They have some amazing programs and that it was just amazing to be part of their teams and watch them do these launches.
Yeah.
So I am moving forward into more of the consulting space, and my business is now 2 different things. Number one, I am still a sales copywriter, so you can still work with me in that capacity if you're kind of thinking about like, oh, I just cannot get to these blogs. And I'm also doing a lot of consulting work. So if you want to know how to get people subscribed to a webinar, you need help with a marketing plan. If you are just stuck and you don't know how to get unstuck, then I'm kind of helping people work through that and move forward. And right now it's all one-on-one. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I've started moving into that to get my income going while I'm building my courses. Because it's like, oh, I could sit there and wait and wait and wait and get all my courses to be perfect and ready to go. But it'd be 7 more months from now before I'd get everything up and going. And then I wouldn't have any money coming in. Right. So it's kind of like, I've just got to get all this going.
It's about serving. And if I don't share what's up here, like if all you say to me is write this blog, and I don't share with you what I learned about how to earn a full-time living profiting from my passion, then I'm not serving you. Then you're not, you know what I mean? So yeah, for me, it's about that, because I'm not using me, to the biggest capacity to help people get out of their JOBs. So that's what I'm all about. That's what's important to me, is I want people to profit from their passions.
Well, my JOB is right here in my upstairs.
Right?
Woo, yay!
The pants. Anybody?
Right. Finally, in my own house. I've had 3 offices. 3.
3?
Driving me crazy. Yeah, 3. Because I didn't really have anywhere at home to work.
Yeah.
This was the laundry room. Okay. This was like the room next to the laundry. And I totally renovated it last week. I've still got to put artwork on the walls, but I totally redid it last week. So I love it. The way that I've got it angled and all my screens and my sofa and everything. It's all great. Everything before, I literally was at the dining room table, which was a great place to be until it was time to eat. And the family was, the family's like, good God, can you get your crap out of here, please? I mean, you're everywhere. And I'm like, I know. I need a place to
I think
go.
you've met my husband. What's this doing here? I'm like, honey, I work from home.
Right, so what is your webinar going to
Why
be?
isn't my laundry done?
Yeah, exactly. What is your webinar going to be?
Yeah, my webinar is November 13th, and I am going to teach marketing plans. So we're going to start with part 1, where we're going to talk about what is a marketing plan, why do you need one, what's important to you about it. And then in part 2, I'm going to dig deeper, and we're going to talk a lot more about what I've tried, what worked for me, what didn't work for me. There's some really amazing modern marketing that's happening right now. So, you really need to incorporate some of the new, figure out what's giving you your sales ROI, right, Jessica? And then you need to kick that out of there and bring in some new, but also keep your evergreen content. So we're going to talk about the balance of those 2 things and how they can help your business.
Yeah, because you got to have stuff that's always out there people can find you with. But do you recommend churning that evergreen content, don't you? Like pulling some back and then adding more on, or what do you think?
So yeah, I mean, you always need to be present certain places, right? So even though I have to be totally honest with you, when I had my webinar last time, I promoted the heck out of it on LinkedIn, and I got almost no signups. And I was like, this is ridiculous. And I was complaining to one of my colleagues, and I just said, what is up with LinkedIn? And she said, Elspeth, like, you can't look at it that way. You need to be present. You need to be there, even if you aren't always seeing the results that you want. And it kind of brought me back to, my center, because she's absolutely right. Like you need evergreen content is when you need to take marketing actions just to be present, even if they aren't correlated to a direct sales result in your business. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I understand that. Well, you know what's funny about it is that I've got a couple of classes where I've taught the inner workings of Zippy courses.
Oh, cool.
Because the only thing that's out there on the internet is from the company itself.
Mm-hmm.
And people have found me and my support group as a result of those videos just sitting there. I don't care if only 10 people look at it. If all 10 of them come join my group, that's awesome. And then next thing you know, here's what happens. Every day somebody new joins my group and I don't know where they're coming from. I have no idea. I've got people 2 or 3 a day coming into 2 of my groups that I run.
But I don't know if you girls will agree with me, but that was like the first sign for me that my business marketing was starting to be very successful, is that I didn't know the people in my network anymore.
Yeah, that's been giving me a lot of confidence in being able to move forward. because I've been running these groups with people that I know. I started out with 10 people in my group 3 months ago, and now there's over 400. So it's like, and I added some of them, but the rest of them just asked to join.
Yeah.
So, and now granted, some of them may come from my list and then they know to go to my group, or vice versa. They go to my group and then they finally get on my list, but it all just kind of interweaves together into this really great, really great network. And you just hope that everybody just kind of boosts up throughout all of the different tools that we're using. Okay. So when it comes to WordPress, did you ever use anything different before?
No, you know what? I didn't, but I have had opportunities. So I'm a copywriter. So when people pull me into their projects, I have gotten behind the scenes with a few other programs. Mm-hmm. And I have to tell you, like, WordPress is easy. You can figure it out.
Yeah, you can. I remember I was like deer in the headlights when I first started, but.
What's confusing me now, maybe somebody else will be able to speak to this, but the page builders, like so I just launched my new website in September, and they're using Fusion page builders, and I'm not used to that. So that's kind of newer to me, where I'm going to have to be able to conquer that in the next coming week.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anything else you want to add before we move? Somebody's asking me about Facebook groups. If any of you have Facebook groups, 50 Shades of Orange Club. Mine is at 50shadesoforangeclub.com. You go there and you sign up to get the link to get my freebies and so on and so forth. I have a free class that I send out. I have the club, which is free. It's a social media tips and tricks group. And, we're constantly putting updates in there all the time. So, ladies, if you've got any Facebook groups, like Elspeth, if you've got something, stick something on there. WordPress, not sure how she did it. Okay, Jessica says her VA made a great sales page in WordPress. Here's another thing that I wanted to point out. I use lead pages. Do any of you use lead pages?
No, not yet. I'm planning on it.
Yes, Laura? Right.
Yeah, planning on it.
Right, okay.
I just want to be clear about that, because if my webinar page, when I started my launch, I wrote a book this summer. I started my launch and I really brought my branding full circle. When I did that, you have to choose where you're spending your money, right? Because in my opinion, you want to keep your overhead as low as possible until the income that's coming into your business can support kind of very, very easily, doing so. Quite frankly, like when you're starting a business, why spend any more than you have to on anything? So the reason that I set up my webinar page the way I did is that I looked up lead pages and I said $25 a month. And then I had one of my web developer friends say, you need to look at ClickFunnels instead. And I said $1,200 a year. And I realized, and I know, but like,
that's a lot.
It adds up, right? So all of a sudden, and this just goes right out of your bottom line. So,
Hi, Sally's funnels. I'm starting to create all my free funnel stuff. I'm like, just create funnels out of free tools. That's what I'm trying to put in my courses.
So my webinar page, which has been phenomenally converting, just going to be totally honest there. My first ever webinar, I brought 77 people. So was just really impressed with that. I scaled back a little bit with my promotions, promoted for 1 week instead of 2. My second ever webinar, I brought on, we had like 39 people sign up. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with this one, because this will be a longer promotion. But anyway, the reason that I set up my page that way is I want to show you that you don't need lead pages. You don't need ClickFunnels. You can set up.
Call it WP. What'd you call it?
WordPress?
Yeah, but what'd you call it? What's the
lead pages?
Whatever you called your it was whatever you answered in the application to be on the show. You called it, I guess you're just your WordPress landing page. But who designed it? I mean,
I had my website agency design that page for me, and they used Fusion Page Builder.
Okay.
So Fusion Page Builder, is similar. I think the other one is called like Dizzy that everybody's freaking out about right now, but I don't know a lot about it. So they just used Fusion.
Okay, can you type that over in the
Yeah, totally.
over in the side? I think that would be helpful.
So Fusion Page Builder is in WordPress?
Yeah.
And you're saying instead of lead pages, use that? That's what you're suggesting?
If you don't want to accrue the cost, I can't do two things at once. I'm sorry. Okay.
I can't either.
If you need a bootstrapping workaround to lead pages, you're trying to keep your overhead as low as possible. Because let's say it like you're putting out, 30, 40% to run your business. My webinar page is a bootstrapped example of one way to avoid that cost.
Okay.
Got it.
Does it say, "Oh, love who sees you in the mirror"? That's yours, Laura.
That is.
Quick. That's cool. Okay. All right. Let's run to you real quick, Laura. Unless Elspeth, do you have anything else you want to add, or we'll
Nope. I'm just gonna mind the chat. So if anybody has any questions, I talk too much. Just
thank you
in the chat, and I'll.
Thank you for minding the chat. That'll be helpful. Yay! We're a team here. Okay, so Laura Fenimore, please say hello. And
hello.
Hey.
Hello. I can't believe it. I just bought these just for fun a couple of months ago, and who would have known I would have met Sally?
That's right.
I love it.
Fair.
Love it.
I got to make a list. I've got a list building up of who needs my glasses.
Oh, I definitely would love your glasses.
Oh, I'm going to send them. Don't worry.
But Kid President wearing your glasses is so great.
I know. Kid President loves me. He's in the 50 Shades of Orange Club. I mean, come on. He's from my hometown. What can I say?
I love it. Totally love it. Yeah.
All right. So Laura, tell us about your business.
So my business is not a technical business. Sorry, everyone that's on here, but I'm glad that you're all here. Really glad that you're here. So I am the proud author of Skinny Fat Perfect, Love Who You See in the Mirror. I don't know if you can get my book here, but it actually is my brand. It's a book that I launched in July, and it's my new brand, skinnyfatperfect.com. Maybe you could put that in while I'm talking, somebody for me. My old brand, actually, I've been coaching for 12 years, and my old brand was onepinky.com, Love Who You See in the Mirror. And I was more focused on weight loss, weight release, and my new brand is really finally took me some time to just come out as a body image expert. It's not to say that I don't care about weight release and don't care about that for people. But the truth is I don't think that anyone could be successfully long-term at weight release if they don't learn to love the inside first. And I know for me, I'm somebody that released 100 pounds almost 30 years ago and have overcome multiple eating disorders and addictions and just have come through a lot around that. And I choose self-love over self-hate. Just that simple.
Yay.
And that's what I teach. Yeah, exactly.
Does it take us long? How long does it take to do that?
Well, it took a few years, I'm not going to lie. But, most of us really just want a pill rather than a process. And, as soon as we get that there is no pill to heal, then we'll heal.
No pill to heal.
No pill to heal.
Yeah, that's a challenge you could launch.
Oh, that's great. No pill to heal.
Pill to heal. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I think it's amazing that you've been through that journey, because when you've been through something like that, then you know that it is your passion to be able to carry that to other people. And you've got to have a story behind you. And I've been coaching with some people lately, and I'm like, look, is this really what you're passionate about? Because I'm not feeling it from you, but I can tell that that's where you're coming from. And so to be able to do that and actually have a business, and then to be able to bring that online to the world, it's a lot easier to find people online when you know how to follow the formulas. So I feel like it's really a great thing that you can do with this business.
Yeah, well, I'm almost 53, and when I was 24, I was given the directive that this was my life's work. Like, that's how long I've known, and I've been doing it since I'm like 40. But I knew I couldn't do it until I had really healed myself from all of my yuckiness. And now I say I didn't have children this lifetime, but my clients have been like who I've been holding up and loving and supporting and caring for, because life is challenging for all of us. And certainly, you know, as women, we've bought the lie that our outside is way more important than anything. And, you know, no matter how much we all know it intellectually, we still struggle with wanting to look good. And not to say that looking good isn't important, it's very important, but just being seduced by the myth that the outside matters more than the inside.
So what is it, if a client comes to you and they're looking for something from you, what is it that you're going to put them through?
Well, I have a 12-week course called Body Image Mastery. Mm-hmm. And it just takes women through the process. In fact, right before this, I just got an email from somebody who's going through the course and just saying, you know, it's slowly, things are starting to shift, really shift. So I just take them through deep, you know, processes that are emotionally based, and also just about healing from the inside out, looking at personal responsibility, looking at the issue of forgiveness, which is something that people have a hard time doing. But
now, is it mostly people who need to lose weight who come to you, or do they have other issues that they're dealing with? Because I want to mention somebody to you who does something totally different, but it's still similar.
You know, my ideal client are women who are sick and tired of corporate diets and are just really wanting to heal from the inside out, that they know that there's a Band-Aid and there's a Band-Aid effect with diets, and they still want to release weight, but they want it to be for peace and health, not for
size
language, but the size of their ass. So, you know, it's like that is their health is way more important than their butt. And, you know, that's what they've gotten to, a place where that's what matters more than, you know, the ego and the image of it. So that's the difference.
A friend of mine who I met in the last couple of months, of course, because I feel like I've met like 1,000 people in the last couple of months.
You're like flying all over the country, going to all these conferences.
I'm just driving my car everywhere, and they're hopping in. Woo! So, join the party. She has a business called Thoughts Become Outfits.
Oh,
and
cool.
She's really great with style and fashion and things like that. But I don't know exactly what the situation was, but I know that she had like some sort of skin problems and a lot of places on her body that were very embarrassing for her for a long, long time. But she's really tall and thin like a model. So that's how a lot of people think they should be, when you're just like, hello, and we're not like that. People are not like that. That is just different. But she does look that way, and she's had all of these issues with her body and so on and so forth. She can't gain weight, you know what I mean? Or she's had medications that have caused her problems. And so she puts people through actually like it's a mindset transformational walk, but then they also go through some sort of makeover, and they do like a little fashion show type of thing. And she has live events. All right, somebody's got feedback coming in.
That's great.
Who's got feedback?
Is it better?
Yeah. Okay. I think it's gone. I heard a little wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what about WordPress? You've always used?
Okay. So it's no accident that this call was here. I actually got hacked last week and my site was down, which was really painful. Really painful.
Let's talk about that.
Was it brute force? What was it?
It was brute force. And yeah, it was nasty. And I mean, I'm not going to mention that I was on kind of a lame post that I had been on forever. And I just believed in miracles, that it would never happen to me. And it was, I mean, it's actually happened to me in the past, but it happened years ago. And so I got onto WordPress Engine, and, you know, everything seems to be fixed now in terms of my, you know, my DNS hoster. But just so you know, I did have two types of security on my, two types of security that I was, my computer guy said, you don't have to worry, Laura, you probably won't get attacked. And I did. So security is really important, like really making sure. And everyone I've spoken to since I've been on WordPress Engine, and certainly Laura told me that WordPress Engine's the place to be.
Right.
So,
oh, good. You talked to Laura last week.
mm-hmm, this week, actually.
Yeah, last night actually, wasn't it?
A couple of nights ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you need a new tech person. If they tell you that, won't be a tech. Yeah, I know. Thanks, tech guy.
You did tech or anything?
Oh my gosh, I have to hand it to my tech person at the time though, because when it happened to me like a year ago, she had it fixed in a day. So I keep hearing these stories about people, but she like had the backup, she pulled the files, so I was so impressed that I ended up like doing her tech plan for a while. So
Yeah.
Somebody asking, that is the main issue with WordPress, is why I'm stuck with Joomla.
Okay, so I used to have my membership site with my online community was with Joomla, and I've used Joomla for probably 7 years, and it's much harder than WordPress. It's so much harder than WordPress, and I'm not a techie person, but techie people tell me that. So anyway.
Yeah. Well, and then that's not a good sign because they probably don't want to deal with it, right?
Exactly. I had so many challenges when things would, you know, go wrong with Joomla. The person that talked me into building my membership site in Joomla ended up like leaving the business, and I had this Joomla website, and I could never find anyone that knew Joomla. I mean, I know there are people out there, but I don't recommend it.
But it makes
WordPress.
it makes it hard when that's not the wave that everybody's riding.
Yeah.
I think it's always better to try to stay on the new, fresh wave, not jump too quickly on things, but to stay on things that seem to be, you know, working for a lot of people. So, you know, I never even. Y'all are gonna laugh. Guess where my website was before I really got serious?
Where?
You're gonna laugh.
Oh, AOL or something?
It was a Google site.
Oh.
And people were.
I thought you were gonna say that you had like this is the other thing I see people doing when you're really new in business, setting up a lead page in lieu of a website.
Yeah.
So they're just putting up one lead page. That's their first funnel. They're like, I'm having a webinar. And they start building their list before they even have a site. It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that works. that does work if you need to do that before your site's ready. No, not Weebly. I actually did a Google site. And the only reason I did is because a few years ago, gosh, it's been a long time, actually, probably about 10 years ago, I was leading the magazine sale for the school, and it was a horrendous process that was all manual. And when I walked into this volunteer thing, I just went, what the heck are y'all doing? They would have 25 parents in there counting stuff and using highlighters and then going back and counting the number of yellow highlights versus the orange highlights versus something else. And I went, every bit of this that you just looked at just came out of a computer. Where's the computer? Give me the computer. Oh my God. I can't believe you're doing this. And then
so funny.
I created this whole thing. I was like, we got to do something. And I was like, Google Sites. Put something together. And I sent it out to the parents, and they were all like, oh my God, Sally Hendrick knows what she's doing.
He's amazing.
Oh, that's great.
But it drove me crazy. All right. So anything else you want to mention? Or are we going to?
Yeah, thanks. I just want to, I mentioned that my old brand was onepinky.com, and And so there is actually a placeholder there and a really wonderful free gift, which is affirmations to heal from. And then I also have at skinnyfatperfect.com, I have the Skinny Fat Perfect Manifesto that I want to invite women to go and get and read every day. Every one of us should get the Skinny Fat Perfect Manifesto.
Okay.
It's actually a beautiful.
At Skinny Fat Perfect or
skinnyfatperfect.com.
Just go right
Laura,
there.
I have one more question.
Please.
What was it like chatting with Oprah?
Ha 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 ha. I actually haven't chatted with Oprah.
Oh, I just saw that you did.
You know, I not yet. Anyway,
Okay.
Not yet.
Coming.
I actually sent that letter to her via video. It was a video that I did. It was a video letter to her. So I had this professional video done talking to her about what I was up to. This was many, many years ago. It's still online.
Yeah, I just found it. It came up like first. I was like, because I was trying to find, can you put up the link to your 12-week course too? Because I'm sure there's people that would be totally interested in that. I know I have people in my network, so I want to make sure I retweet you.
I just want to say, hey, one more time, verbally to everybody in the audience, thank you for being here. And I know that whoever's talking and I can't really monitor the chat that much, but the others are taking a look at it. So if you have a question for us, remember to do the /Q and to send it to whoever you want to answer, and we will work on that. Okay. Thank you.
I want to hop in and ask a question to Laura too.
Oh, good.
One of the questions that I know, like, I personally have fibromyalgia, so I know a lot of people in that realm of like medical, here, take this, here, do this. Mm-hmm. And a lot of my friends and I have actually a skewed view on weight because of the fact of what pills they put you on and what they're saying, like, you know, is happening because of the pills that they put you on to manage fibromyalgia. So, like, how does that all play into it? Like, is that a different type of thing that you direct people to overcome? Because,
yes,
I mean, in my eyes, it's like, it's the medicine's fault.
Well, that's a whole long conversation that has nothing to do with WordPress and this call, but I am more than happy to talk to you or anyone else offline about this. Just email me, Laura@skinnyfatperfect.com, and we'll set up time to talk. And Laura, I'm more than happy to answer. But just in a nutshell, I do believe that we are whole human beings and we are impacted emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, and that there is no coincidence when things break down in the body. There is a reason, and I do believe that it's healable. So, I think that a lot of illness is healable. Not everybody gets out alive. We all die, and we all suffer in our own ways, whether it's mentally or physically. But I do think that
we all die.
What? Yeah, we all do die eventually. But what I was
just checking because, like, I don't think I signed up for that call, Sally.
No, I said we all die eventually, Elspeth.
Like, I'll too.
So anyway,
sorry.
I'm sorry. Back to death.
Yes, honey, you just threw me off there a little bit. I wasn't suggesting that any of us have to die or are going to die like soon. We're all going to die, though, at some point. Sally's leaving the call.
I'll look both ways when I cross the street today. I'll be like, Laura said.
I have a skull mask somewhere, and I don't know.
Okay.
Did you have a face of death, Laura? Like,
what, sweetie?
Do you have Laura Reiki? Do you have a face of death mask you could put on?
Oh, no.
All right, sorry, I'll be quiet.
It's okay. So there's a great book called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. She's somebody that I consider my, I see it, looks cute.
You should be in a group with me that they're all followers of her.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. Laura, I'm happy to talk to you about it offline. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
All right. So you guys, Laura F., do you have anything else you want to mention?
Well, be silly, have fun, and be kind to you and others. That's all. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Laura Reich, I want you to, somebody's got feedback again. I don't know what it is. Can you hear me? Like, is it coming through double? No, it's gone away. I don't know why that happens. Anyway, Laura Reich, I wanted to introduce you. Laura is actually my virtual assistant. She has an awesome business, and I highly recommend her. That's all I can really say. And, anyway, so I would love it if you would introduce yourself and tell us what you do and your awesomeness.
Yeah. So I started my VA company, I think it's been about 6.5, 7 years ago. The main reason actually why I started was because I was a single parent of a child at the time. And so I did a couple virtual clients and realized that I could make it bigger with the knowledge that I have from the schooling that I had. So it kind of jump-started from there.
Okay, so sorry, I'm reading some things over on the side. Okay, let's be nice to each other. Hello, over on the side. Elspeth and Laura, if you don't mind kind of watching what's going on over there. Anyway,
Yep.
So Laura, I'm sorry, I missed some of that. So let's keep going. I got a little distracted. So I met Laura through Dana, right? Was it Dana Nevy?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And at the time, I don't even know if I had a site. Did I have a website?
No.
Okay, I didn't even have a website. Wow. It's been a long 3 or 4 months. Anyway, gosh, I can't believe it. It was June when I got my website. So anyway, I wanted to bring Laura on here because she pretty much knows what's going on with all of this stuff. And I was like, you would be great to come on because she did all of my SEO work. And Laura's
where'd she go?
He disappeared.
Did all of your SEO work?
Yeah, Laura did all my SEO.
Laura, come back.
No, come back. Hurry up. Talk about it. Woo. No, I don't know what's going on over here.
No.
Party foul.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Now I'm deleting. Okay, please don't join. We're bringing Laura back. This is a scheduled show, but thank you. We'll, if you would like to apply for the show, you can go to my website and apply, and we will have a tech topic underlying our business discussion, and I will give you the website in order to go and apply for the show. And only serious people apply. There is an application process. Thank you. All right, so this is so funny. What is that music? Oh wait, let's play some music. Here we go.
Crash with Sally.
Woo! Dance time! Dance break! Woo!
Woo!
Okay, coming back. Like, what does she do now?
Well, she'll come. I'm not sure what's happening. Her internet has gone out for a minute, but she'll come. All right, so Laura, I'm going to go ahead and talk about her for a little bit more.
Oh, good. So she helped you with SEO?
Yeah, she did. Our discussion, Corey, is about our businesses and what we're doing and how we're using WordPress in our businesses. So I'm not sure, that's what the name of the show is. So anyway, we've been talking about our businesses and why we're using it and some things that have happened with us. We had one, Laura Fenimore, talk about how she was hacked last week and had to go and finally get everything on WordPress and WordPress engine, change her hosting and do all of that. And now she's dealing with some membership site issues. And then we have Elspeth, who has been using WordPress, and she uses Fusion Builder to do landing pages instead of lead pages to do landing pages for like a webinar that she's got coming up and various aspects of her business. And then Laura Reich, who is supposed to be coming back in, I'm waiting for her to, something happened probably with her internet. And WordPress is mobile friendly. I update my blog all the time from my phone. And I also have a membership site on my WordPress, and I go in and I can give students access to various courses and things like that from my cell phone. So,
and I just want to say, I appreciate Elsbeth's tip about Fusion Page Builder. I mean, other things too, but that I had never heard of that.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Well, I look into it because mine is one way. Like your designer could probably code something equally awesome for you that would work for your business.
But it's in WordPress, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. It's in WordPress. But the point I wanted to what's really important to me is that people understand you don't need all this overhead in your business, right? You don't need to spend, $25 a month, $1,200 a year for, like, you don't have to, there are ways to get around it. You just have to, maybe you do more work, but that's it, because time is money. So you're going to spend more time until you have more money. Right, Sally?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I use Lead Pages a lot because I like to do specific analytical tracking, and I find it a lot easier and quicker for me to set up. And then, of course, I embed those into my website so that people can find it. But I have had a hard time figuring out, I don't have a web designer. I do everything myself. And so whenever I do have like an issue, I've got a friend who I'm like, hey, how do you do this? But she doesn't do it full time. She just knows. And so she'll say, oh, do this. And then I'll be like, oh, okay. Because I'm really techie. So that's kind of my thing. I'll just go figure it out. But I have not delved into a whole lot with WordPress. I dig into other things.
Well, so there's a couple ways around that too, just so everyone knows. There's no right and there's no wrong answer. Lead Page is beautiful. Lead Pages extensively researches every single landing page. If you have it in your budget, go ahead and get it. If you have it in your budget and you want more, check out ClickFunnels. That's the new golden child. Some awesome stuff there.
Here she comes.
So, just to build on what Sally said, you can also set up a Google goal and attach it to your webinar page. So if you have Google Analytics set up, it's going to get you pretty close to a solid understanding of what your conversions are on your webinar page. Like the webinar page I have a pretty good understanding of what that traffic is, where it's coming from, and what the conversions are using my Google Analytics. And then if I wanted to take it a step further, which I didn't yet, but if I wanted to, I can set up a Google goal on that page. It'll give me even more information.
Are you doing Google Analytics yourself, or do you got somebody helping you with that? I haven't done anything with Google Analytics, and I know I need to.
That's okay. Google Analytics is just a plugin. It's a plugin for your WordPress. Welcome back. I don't know what's happening.
You need to ask me about that, Sally, since I'm your VA.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, got her.
There you go.
So much to do.
By the way, Sally, we also do web development.
I know, but I like what I have.
I know.
So Laura, where did you go?
That's the thing about my computer decided that it wanted to do a restart update.
Oh.
I don't know.
While you weren't looking.
Yeah, right? Yeah. But no, that's the thing about Sally that I love is she likes to take over and try to figure things out herself as well, instead of just farming it out to everybody else. She likes to get her hands dirty and get into the mix of things. So it's a lot of fun.
I do. I'm a gardener in that way. Yes, I do.
But I love that because, one of my major business philosophies is know how to do it yourself, because then it allows you to delegate to your assistants better. I'm not saying it's the right way. I'm saying I love that, like, I've had people flake out on me. Like, I had a web developer flake out on me last week right before one of my major launches. And I said, ooh, I was so mad at him, but I jumped in and I knew how to do a page myself.
Right.
So if I hadn't had that skill,
Yeah, then we would have been lost. I mean, I understand. I've had to help people who I've paid to help me. I'm like, I know that your VA is gone for the weekend, but I need to get in and do this module right now. And I was like, hold on a second. Let me see. What are you using? Okay. All right. So the naming pattern is probably this. All right, go do this and give me access. This is how you find it. And it worked. And it was like, yay, I got in. And it wasn't my product, but I needed it because I had bought it. So she was just having some techie problems. So anyway, we're working on trying to have some little JV going on with that situation. All right. So Laura, we were kind of talking about SEO, and I wanted to ask you, what did you do? How did you go in and do SEO on my site?
How did I go in?
What's the goal? What are you trying to do? And you don't have to give specifics, but
yeah, no, I mean, one of the plugins that I think I like the most is Yoast.
Yeah.
Because it gives you the most flexibility when choosing the keywords that you want to find. And then when trying to find those keywords, I use what's called the low-hanging fruit. So, sorry, I'm not a multitasker either.
Don't worry about
props you for that. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm like, hey, squirrel. Okay, anyway.
How do I block somebody? I need help.
Yeah, the BLABUS person needs to be blocked. They don't need to be in here.
Okay.
Anyway, so we try to figure out like the low-hanging fruit, and I use Google AdWords for that because you can find the keywords that you think you want to be searched for. You can find relative words in that same niche, and then you can see what's high search and low competition so that you can still be able to be found the way you want to be found, but not have to compete with everybody else that's using that one main keyword. So we'll start with that, and then we go into Yoast and use it that way, which aligns really nicely with both WordPress and Google AdWords.
Okay, I don't know how to block.
Are you using Webmaster at all, Laura?
I have used Webmaster. It's new to me, so I don't necessarily like speaking to something that's new.
Okay.
All right, I blocked him. Thank you. All right. Oh my gosh, let's have a fight over in the side chat about who's better at Twitter.
You guys handled that beautifully. I was actually observing it, and I was like, I don't know what to do.
Like, oh my God. I'm sorry, Corey. I'm sorry. I could not pay attention to what was going on over there, and I didn't really know. So, that's done. Okay, he's gone. All right. Woo, yay. We need a party for that one, right?
Oh, yeah. Put on the glasses. Party.
Woo, yeah.
Woo!
Okay, so back to the seriousness of the low-hanging fruit and the words and all the SEO and stuff. Okay. Woo! Have a drink on that.
So
Laura.
I actually didn't know that about Webmaster, Elsbeth.
Webmaster lets you see the SEO keywords folks are searching to get to your website.
So
about
again, because being a copywriter, I did a lot of SEO copywriting when I started 5 years ago, and I watched the industry just regularly shift. And so what happened is that Google Analytics used to show you which terms people were searching to get to your website. So what happened is that they basically said, no more. And they decided that they were going to break off Google Analytics from this thing called Google Webmaster. So Google Webmaster is the advanced tool. It's a little too techy for me. I have not invested the time to learn it, but it is the tool that will tell you what people are searching to get to your website. So especially if you have a commerce business, if you have a very competitive industry, really important that you ask about Google Webmaster. It is one more tool that can help you know exactly which organic search terms people are putting in to find your business.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I haven't heard of that. I am running into the fact that it is kind of techie. That's what I got my fiance for. He's the techie guru. But
Good.
to find searched terms like that, you can also use Jetpack on WordPress too. And so when you get your daily stats or monthly or weekly, whatever you're looking at, they actually will tell you what keywords were searched and where they came from. So even if they searched a keyword on Facebook and then found you and then clicked from your Facebook to your WordPress, it'll give you that statistic.
So Jetpack, do you like Jetpack better than the Google Ads keyword planner? Because I've always used the keyword planner.
For finding other keywords, yes, I use the Google Keyword Planner.
Okay.
But for seeing what my specific website has been searched for already to find the other keywords, I would use Jetpack. So kind of conjunctively.
Right. So Corey's mentioning over here that Alex Becker has, tactics for SEO, and source-wave.com is his website, and says he has a lot of stuff that's free. So just notice that in the chat.
Yeah.
I'll go over and peek at this while, I'm going to go peek.
I'm wondering if there was anything else, and I think we've been pretty good about keeping up with what's going on in the chat. Well, Laura, tell us
looking this way like this. That's what I'm doing, just so everyone knows.
Okay. All right. Okay. I usually am looking up here because I have all my screens everywhere.
That would be awful.
Hello. How are you?
It's my best angle, I think.
Yeah, I don't show much head. All right, so the attacker is gone. Yes, Corey, I saved you. God, that was crazy. Laura, tell us what all you do in your business to help people like me.
I mean, a VA by trade, I don't like to say that I am one with a jack of all trades. So the reason I guess I feel like my business stands out a little bit is because I not only myself am a VA, but I also employ VAs with specialties that I don't understand or can't offer. So that way a company or an individual doesn't have to hire 5 different VAs because they do know something or they don't know something. So that's kind of one of the biggest things for us. The other thing is, I don't know, we handle graphic design, WordPress web design. We do blogs and keyword searching with blogs. So not necessarily what Elizabeth does with copywriting, but like helping them ensure that what they're writing about is actually what's going to help them with their content. If they're going the completely wrong direction, we'll give them suggestions on maybe a different direction for them, things like that. Email marketing is another big one that I like to personally work on.
Okay. Yeah. I've been making a list for you, by the way.
Are you checking it twice?
I've got so many lists, and they're everywhere, and I'm finding them in weird places. And let me show you what my husband gave me.
Wait, I want to know what.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
I can't sleep.
Aww.
A journal for passing the time when insomnia strikes and my brain is circling in on itself, cannibalizing the trivialities of the day and exaggerating the ticking of the clock, reminding me that every minute spent awake is another minute closer to when I'll have to get up. Though many of the great artists and sages were insomniacs, that's part of how they got so much done. So if I can't sleep, I might as well write and channel my misery into something productive. And when you open it up,
That's awesome.
it is awesome. What does it say? Life is something that happens when you
can't get to sleep.
And so, of course, I have my list that I made when I started the book. I just started on it the other night. And then it's got a new quote for
where he got it, because I am an insomniac. I sleep maybe 4 or 5 hours, and then I'm good to go. So
I've also heard like those middle of the night things called downloads from God, like where you're like, oh, I got a solution to that, and it's like the weird, like a little strike of lightning right to your entrepreneur brain. But
that is like, well, this one's good. And it fits us really well because my husband is actually doing a Jack Daniel's whiskey tasting in a couple of weeks to benefit Alzheimer's. And he's really heavily, partnered with them. I'm for anything to get you through the night, be it prayer, tranquilizers, or a bottle of Jack Daniels. Like, oh my, okay. I don't think, that was by Frank Sinatra. That was a quote from him. So all of these have like some famous person who said it. The first one was Fran Lebowitz. So anyway.
Sally, I'm curious, what's the list that you're making for Laura?
The list for Laura?
Yeah. Things you want her to work on for you or work with you on?
Some things I'm trying to come up with some things that are regular, that she can get. And it wouldn't be Laura that would do it because I know that she would farm it out to one of her assistants because it's something that would be not something that would be using necessarily her skills, but for somebody that could just do it. It's just one of those busy work kind of things that I have to do. I have to do it 2 or 3 times a week. And sometimes I'm like, oh, when's the last time I did that? And then I go in and I'm like, oh my goodness, I've got like 27 of these to do. And I have, and it takes me 20 minutes and I'm like, it's ridiculous. So I'm just trying to come up with things like that because like we were talking about earlier, there are certain things that you need to work on yourself because you're the one that needs to do it. But once you know that, these other things can be done by somebody else and you know how it needs to be handled, then you start handing that off so that you can work on the things that you're creating in your mind. You are your business. You are the mind that people are wanting to work with. Yeah. People don't want to necessarily work with the person who is so busy that they can't even answer their emails. You know what I mean? Like, so there's just a lot of other things that you do need to package up and put off to the side to be handled by somebody that you can trust will get it done.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, what is Corey's over here saying some more stuff?
Corey and I were just chatting about the SEO source-wave.com that he recommended. I wanted to take a peek at this because, again, I don't know who's in our, all of this affects everyone in our audience today, but I am just going to say, I was an SEO copywriter for a long time. I got to work with Tenant Tours. We increased their leads by 300% using an SEO blogging strategy. So I've dabbled in SEO extensively. It's something that I am really always interested in. SEO is not for everyone in every business. So when I made my shift and I started working with a lot of heart-centered entrepreneurs, SEO might not be for you. Do you still need it? Does it still need to be part of your brand messaging because that's what's going to get you found on the internet? Absolutely. But what Corey's talking about is if you have a brick and mortar local business, SEO is something that you should really, really, really look into because as a local company, you are going to be relying on your local community in order to come in and support your retail business, right? Yeah. So if you're an online entrepreneur, yes, do it, incorporate it in, right? So whatever you're doing. So Laura Fenimar, hers might be, body image consulting for women. She's going to have a whole host of terms that she's going to use in her blogging and on her website, et cetera, to help her get found. But for the, she's probably not going to go the full route, invest a huge amount of her budget into SEO because it's something that you don't necessarily need as much as she could shoot a dozen videos of herself coaching and be able to use those to market her business. But if you're local, you have a retail brick and mortar, sometimes even e-commerce, SEO is probably something you want to look into because it will help you, but it is harder and harder to compete.
Yeah, I can see that. And
I saw your face is glazed. I was like, stop talking.
No,
it's helpful. It's helpful. No, thank you.
We're processing. I've got a client that I just signed with the other day who has a brick and mortar and they're trying to get online and they're struggling big time because they just don't even know what to do. They don't even know how to start. They just think, oh, I guess we could just start here. And then they just sit there and stare at the screen and I don't know what to do. And so I'm trying to get them to the point they've got the husband and wife, they have two different aspects of, one is in fitness and the other has this mindset thing that he does. And they're a great team together, but they definitely need to change a lot of the things they're doing. They're trying to figure out, do we go all the way online and shut down the brick and mortar? Or do we do both? Or do we forget the online and try to boost the brick and mortar? And the problem is they're on this highway where people just pass by and they don't stop. But somebody across the street has built up something that gets people to stop, and they can actually eat at a restaurant and then see across the way their business over there. And so, they're just in one of those areas that's just not conducive to a lot of foot traffic or even driving traffic because of the way it's been for a while. So, SEO would definitely help them, and I'll probably will talk to them about that once we get to that point in our coaching, but I can't do it for them. So that's why I have
Well, is it okay if I give my 2 cents on that? Would anyone mind hearing?
Yeah.
No.
Because the first thing I would tell them is get off your butt. I was at when I had a brick and mortar business, I was at 4 to 6 networking meetings a week, shaking hands, kissing babies. You know what I mean? So that's the first thing. And then they just need to launch something. They need to say post-birth body boot camp, and just try to get moms in there, try to get early morning fit, shaking up for the holiday, something. Get a Brazilian butt and just promote the heck out of it with shaking hands and giving out cards. That's the.
We don't know exactly what they're doing. Apparently, the community that they live in is a much older community, and they're somewhere near Pittsburgh, I think. I can't remember, but it's kind of rural, and so I don't know exactly what they're doing. I know they're trying to work with people. I just haven't gotten into that part of it because I'm not teaching them. I'm teaching them how to list build right now and how to do some things, how to do their online piece.
Awesome.
So hopefully something will pick up with the other stuff they're doing. But yeah, that would be a good idea. I have a feeling though, he's traveled all the time. He's always traveling doing his work, and she is running the gym. And when you're running a gym, you can't leave. You know what I mean? You can't leave.
Yeah.
You're right there.
Well, they say that Plan B is a dream killer. I believe that. I think that if you have, a job that's taking you away from your business a lot, I believe that if you're trying to, juggle too many balls, you're not going to do it all well. So, just to kind of, I'll be quiet.
No,
I'm just gonna throw in something with Corey's question here. I think it depends on the situation. You guys see Corey's question? Here's the tough question. So if web traffic is all about getting eyes in front of your product, would one have an easier time building a site from scratch or use real estate already in place like Facebook Local? I think it depends on the situation. But I think
marketing is all about test and measure, right?
Yeah.
So web traffic, you have to here's the deal.
Yeah, you have to have a site.
You need your own website. The reason you need your own website is because you own it. So anything else you're using, look at what happened to, I don't know if this happened to anyone else, likes. And I went from 30, 40 people seeing every post to 3. And it was because Facebook changed their algorithm. So if you don't own it, you don't control it. So I would say
you can't bait and switch with what they're doing because you don't know what their game is behind the scenes. And it happens with Facebook groups too. I know people who were using Facebook groups selling things, and it was going against the Facebook rules of whatever you're supposed to be doing. And they would have 45,000 people in the group, and then Facebook shut it down. And it's did you have all those people's email addresses? Because if you didn't, you're screwed. Thank you. But or have somebody else be an admin in there if they blocked you out or something, so you can at least have troll, not trolls, have that was the other guy. Have spies in your group who are or placeholders in there who, if something happens, you're like, hey, look, I can't get back in my group. I need to, can I log in through your account and go in and, did you know you can click the members and then copy all the members inside a Facebook group and then paste them into a spreadsheet, and it brings the links over to get to their pages and everything?
Well,
No, I
you
didn't
can
know
do that as a page, as a Facebook group owner, but no one else can, right?
No, I can do it on any group.
Oh, awesome.
Any group?
Any group
Yeah.
I'm in, yeah. Any group I'm in, I just, you know how you go and click the members and it'll list them and you can look through them? You just copy and paste the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not their personal information. It'll go to it links to their Facebook profile page. So if they don't have their security settings to be private, then you'd be able to see their information. But 9 times out of 10, people nowadays have it set private. So you can still message them and connect with them that way, but it's not like email address copy.
Yeah.
When you're creating a custom audience for a Facebook ad, can you use that method to create a custom audience? Okay.
No.
Thanks.
You can target them a certain way via the Facebook groups and things like that, but you can't physically put people's links and names and things like that in there.
Okay. So what would that's really cool. You'd use it just to send PMs? Like, what would you use that for?
I mean, if it's a group that is beneficial to you, I mean, directly connecting with them and building that relationship is the way I would say to do it. There are ways where you can DM them or PM, however you call it. But you can send them that message. You also have to be careful because Facebook only allows you to send a certain amount of messages for one per day, and completely, like, so if you guys weren't my friends on Facebook and I started sending you messages like all the time, I would get blocked from using Facebook then because we're not directly connected. But you can reach out, and if it was something you really wanted to speak to somebody about and you thought it was important, you can send them a direct message once or twice without getting penalized, but you can only send a certain amount per day as well.
Yeah. And also, if you copy and paste the same message over and over again, and you do like 10 of those in a row, you could get blocked out of Facebook. I'm sorry, Laura. You did that for me.
Oh.
You did that for me. One time I was trying to reach some people who I thought would enjoy a free webinar, and it worked. And they were people that were they were in a group of people that I knew, at least that network I knew. And so I was trying to reach as many of those as I could to get them to pay attention to what I was doing. And I ended up getting about 35 people out of that. How many was it? 150, 200 people that we direct messaged. It made me not even that many. It wasn't even that many, was it?
No, I don't think it was that many. I would probably say like
happened?
75.
What do you mean?
What happened?
She just got blocked out for a certain number of hours.
Oh, hours. That I can do with hours.
I had a little guilt complex. I'm like, I did that? I don't remember doing that.
Oh, Laura Wright. Laura Wright. I hired her to do this for me.
That's funny. So I'll just add to that, because one of the things I wanted to use is that I have like 600 connections plus on LinkedIn. Again, from handshaking a couple years ago. But I was like, oh, let me invite them to my webinar. And so I tried direct messaging everyone, which was a pain in the butt. But I have to say, like, I got back nasty grams, you know, they were like, I am part of a multi-message, you know, thing, and please exclude me from this. And I was like, oh man, he was a W-2 employee. So I understand like why he didn't care about me and he didn't care about my content, because he obviously like wasn't my audience.
Right.
But I think I'm going to leave that out of my promotions next time, because it definitely didn't really didn't get me very far.
Well, there are other ways. Do you know about Link Clump?
No, tell me.
Link Clump is a Google app. Link Clump on Chrome. It's a Chrome app. You have just go look up Link Clump. There's no website called linkclump.com or anything. It's just an app on Google. So when you look it up, it'll go to like one of those Google app type pages. And you add it to Chrome. And then once you've got it on your computer, go to LinkedIn, go to the advanced search, And in the advanced search, type in like the type of person you're looking for in the interests or something like that. You know,
Okay.
like I don't know who you're trying to target, but whoever that is, just type that in. Like if it's coaches or if it's
Yeah.
you know, coaches or if it's whatever, you know, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, whatever you want to do on that search. And then do you have a PC or a Mac?
A Mac.
Okay. I'm not sure what if you just highlight with the mouse over it, but whatever it is that you highlight over all the people that come up in the search, and there'll be like 10 or so per page. Highlight all of them, and what it does is it automatically opens. So it's like it clicks the links for you. It automatically opens all of their profiles, and they will come up across the screen at the top as their profile is being open.
Yeah.
And then you just shut it down. You can do up to 400 a day on the free account. And when you do,
To connect with people on LinkedIn, this is to like link up with them.
well, no, this is to view their page. And what happens is they get a notification that says, Elspeth viewed your page. And most of the time, people click back to view your page. So you better have your page ready
Yeah.
with something for them to click on and some rich media that they can use. And then if they'll be like, oh, that's cool. Click that. What does she do? Oh, that's neat. And then they sign up for your webinar.
Right. Okay.
You've got to
Very
be
cool.
targeted, and you have to have your page ready before you do it, or you completely lose. It's like that first impression thing. You screw it up the first time, you're done. So have your page ready. Wait, what is this social media? I don't even know what all's going on. All right, guys, I've got to run. So I'm going to have to shut us down and you can keep talking if you want, but I need to get going because I've got to get my daughter and I've got some more work to do. So we need to have a dance party to leave the show.
We have to have a dance party.
All
It was
right.
really nice being with you gals, all of you.
Thank you so
I
much.
wanna
I
see
learned
you
a lot.
all off of this.
Laura Reiki, I can't wait
And we'll be in
to
touch.
with you someday.
And this chat will still be here. So you can
Yay! All right. Happy Friday, everyone. We'll be in touch.
Thanks so
Take care.
much. Good to meet you.
Woo!
Good chatting.
just X yourself out of the boxes. Bye.
I'm Xing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.